You are grinding out your push day week after week. You're showing up, you're putting in the work. But when you look in the mirror, the person staring back at you doesn't really seem to reflect that effort. Maybe your chest feels flat, your shoulders don't pop, or your triceps are just hiding away. And listen, the problem isn't how hard you're working, it's how you're working. You are likely falling for a few very common traps I see all too often in the gym. And these traps are quietly killing your progress. So today we are tearing apart that broken routine, and I'm going to give you the ultimate push day blueprint so that you can work out effectively and get the results that you want. Let's get right into it. Mistake number one is that you are chasing the pump, not strength. I see people go into the gym and start with high repetition, low weight types of exercises that will help you feel a pump, but may not actually drive you close enough to failure. My biggest piece of advice for people is that if you want to grow, you need to get strong first. You have to lay a solid foundation for yourself before you start to lift into the high volume activities, especially with compound movements. Now, don't get me wrong, a good pump can signify that you're working the target tissue or that you're training close to failure, but a pump isn't the ultimate point of lifting. So what is the fix? We start our workout with one of the original titans of upper body lifting, that is the Incline barbell bench press. This is your foundation. It builds raw strength throughout the lower, the middle, and the upper fibers of the chest. It develops the front or the anterior deltoids, and it targets the triceps more heavily than in a flat bench press. But remember, we're not here for the pump, not yet. We are here for strength. We're going to work in a strength-focused range and overall volume for this lift. That means we're gonna be doing 3 to 4 sets of 4 to 6 repetitions. Your job here is to focus on one thing, and that is progressive overload. This means that each session that you come in, you will add a small amount of weight to the bar so that you can lift a little bit heavier than you did the time before. That is how you lay the foundation for a successful push day and great pumps down the road. Now remember, and this is crucial, by the end of each set, you should be pretty close to failure. That means not being able to lift another repetition. So to complete the fixing of this mistake, I want you to set a goal based on your workout experience. If you're a beginner, I want you to add anywhere between 30 and 50 pounds to your bench press over the next 6 months. If you're consistently adding 5 pounds each time you go in, this should be very achievable. If you're an intermediate lifter, I want you to aim for about 25 pounds. If you're an advanced lifter, if you can get between 10 and 15 pounds on a bench press, that would be amazing. And these numbers sound like a lot, but when you lower your repetitions and you lower your overall volume, you will be amazed at how much strength you can gain in a short amount of time. Mistake number 2 is that you are not warming up properly. You wouldn't walk outside in freezing weather and immediately redline the engine to your car. So why are you walking into the gym, throwing on a bunch of weight on a barbell or grabbing the heaviest set of dumbbells that you can and starting to lift? An improper warm-up is a massive performance killer, and it prevents future progression. A proper warm-up will help you prime your muscle fibers and recruit more and more muscle fibers over time so that by the time you get to your working sets, you feel strong. Now, the fix isn't 5 or 10 minutes on an elliptical or a treadmill. Instead, we need a more targeted approach. We'll start with something simple like arm circles, band pull-aparts, maybe an overhead press or a lateral raise just to get things moving. After that, we're gonna move into our ramp-up sets, and these do not count toward your working sets. Basically, we'll start with an empty barbell. We'll do between 5 and 10 repetitions. After that, we'll add a little bit more weight. We'll do another 5 repetitions. We'll add a little bit more weight. We'll do maybe another 5, but it's gonna be closer to 2 to 3 repetitions. And then we'll add one more set of weight on, and then we'll do about 1 or 2 repetitions. After that, we're gonna be working on our working sets. Remember, the purpose of the ramp up sets is to improve the nervous system response and the amount of muscle fibers that are recruited during the working sets. This helps keep you safe, it helps keep you strong, and it improves your performance. Mistake number 3, you're doing too many exercises. Are you doing flat bench, incline bench, decline bench, machine press, pec deck, and 3 different kinds of flies in your workout? If you are, then you're doing it wrong. The more is better approach is a huge mistake. If you wanna do intense 3-hour bodybuilding sessions, be my guest, but the returns on the investment of spending that much time in the gym are very little compared to just maintaining a consistent workout schedule twice a week. Now, the fix for this mistake is to focus on quality over quantity. You need to pick the best tools for the job and then hit them hard. So in this specific case, after our incline barbell bench press, we are going to do one more press, and that is the flat bench dumbbell press. Flat bench dumbbell press is a perfect complement to the incline barbell press because it is going to target a little bit more of the chest specifically. It will target a little bit more of the middle and the lower fibers of the chest that are targeted a little bit less during an incline press. The goal is to master about 4 different exercises and get progressively stronger at them, not check a list of all these boxes of redundant movements. If you're already having some aha moments and seeing where you're going wrong, then please do me a solid and hit that like button. It's a huge help, and it lets me know you want more no BS content like this to help you get the most out of your training. Mistake number 4. Not only are you doing too many exercises, but you're also doing too much volume. And this really ties in with number 3 because a lot of the time you will use these extra accessory exercises to fill in more volume so that you feel like you're doing more work when really you're not stimulating the muscle that much more than when you were doing your heavy lifts. We call this junk volume. Junk volume is basically doing work with those muscles without stimulating more muscle growth. And yes, sometimes more volume does equal more growth, but it can have diminishing returns based on the amount of time that you actually want to spend working out. If you hit 6 to 8 hard sets per muscle group per week, that should be enough to give you a decent amount of growth if you stick with it for a long period of time. Now, our compound press has already hit the chest, the deltoids, and the triceps. So to round out the push day, my personal preference is to add in just 2 more exercises. The first is the dumbbell lateral raise, and the second is the tricep pushdown. The lateral raise is simple to do, and it's going to hit that middle deltoid that you don't really get from a strong push day, and you don't really get much of from a strong pull day, and it will help give you that pop in your shoulders that you're most likely looking for. The triceps pushdown, as suggested by the name, is going to target your triceps. For each of these exercises, we're going to do 2 to 3 sets, and we're going to do between 8 and 12 repetitions, or until you hit failure, whichever's closer. My personal recommendation is that if you're hitting failure between 15 and 20 reps, you might want to up the weight a little bit so you don't have to spend as long doing each set. There you have it. That's the blueprint. It is that simple. Stop making the same mistakes and start building your push day with a purpose. Properly warm up your muscles, joints, and nervous system before you touch a heavy weight. Your body and your performance will thank you. Focus on getting brutally strong in a couple of good compound lifts like the incline barbell press and the flat dumbbell press. Stop adding exercises just for the sake of it. And finally, avoid junk volume by using low volume targeted isolation work for those last couple muscle groups. The plan is right here. Now the rest is on you. Take this workout, show up consistently, and you will see the results that you've been looking for. Focus on getting stronger week by week, session by session, just a little bit at a time, and you will be amazed at what you can accomplish. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more guides to simple exercise, and leave a comment down below telling me which exercise you are going to master in the next 6 months. Now get in the gym and get it done. Peace.